Hiya then folks, welcome to Boating on a Budget with me, the tight Yorkshireman.
And me, Dawn.
Today's is a bit of a different video to normal, isn't it, Dawn?
It is.
It is, because today is basically now 12 months since we bought this boat. Can you believe 12 months since we bought the Underlader? So we thought we'd do a bit of a catch-up, didn't we? Because obviously there'll be some people who've kind of followed the project, some people who've not seen it before. So when we bought her, she was perfectly usable, weren't she?
Pretty much.
Yeah, you know, more or less everything worked. I think the only thing that didn't work is the actual cold water tap.
Yeah.
But apart from that, she were a usable boat, so we decided the best thing to do was to rip everything out.
Which is what we do.
Yeah, so we stripped her back to a bare shell. We took her out the water and re-blacked all the bottom. And then we started the task of rebuilding her, which was more or less the beginning of this year, weren't it? We actually started rebuilding her. From there we kind of put the new flooring in, and then we've worked our way through the boat. Most of which we've obviously recorded and put on as we've done it, haven't we? But obviously there's inevitably been bits that we've not kind of had the camera set up, or you just kind of start doing a bit of something and before you know it you've kind of done a job, isn't there? So we thought, like I said, we'll do a little catch-up video.
Yeah.
And seeing as you're cooking tea, or evening meal or dinner, depending on whereabouts you are in the country or the world.
It's tea.
We call it tea, but there you go. But yeah, we thought we'd start in the kitchen area.
Yeah.
Which, basically, to build the kitchen up, other than once we put the floor in, we made the framework, didn't we? That took
Hours.
hours and hours and hours. Mainly because, I'm sure for those that have seen it, everything in a boat is out of square, isn't it? Yeah. Nothing's level, so this gunnel doesn't line up to that gunnel and they run out of line. So to try and get it not only square and level to each other, but to look right as it ran along means, technically this is not actually all square and level, is it? It kind of follows the boat, so that took quite a bit of doing. We then got some old school desks, and we did a little bit of work to them. Again, hours and hours of sanding and cleaning and what have you. Old wooden school desks, and turn them into the worktops,
which I'm in love with.
Which look absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, they do.
I think so far they've had, is it 3 or 4 coats of varnish?
Yeah, I think 3, 4. Yeah,
3.
Yeah.
But what we will actually do is once we've finished everything, we'll give them a final coat, won't we? Just to sort of bring that finish right up.
Yeah.
Then we had to turn our attention to the working side, if you like.
Yeah, my side.
Yeah, so we took them sinks out when we stripped the boat, but you didn't want to refit them, did you?
No, I weren't happy about that.
You really wanted square sinks, but we couldn't fit square sinks in this worktop because of how all the framework is. Well, we couldn't fit a square one in that we could find the right size. No. So we had to go for them, and I think you've kind of more or less happy with them, aren't you, now that they're fitted?
Yeah.
One thing we definitely didn't show was fitting the tap. But in effect, fitting a tap is you drill a hole and you bolt it in place. And then we didn't actually show any of the plumbing in the tap, the drains, or even plumbing in the oven, which we'll come to the oven in a minute. But we didn't show any of that because basically Ben, our son-in-law, he came and did all the plumbing, and he is a fully qualified gas fitter, and he's got the LPG, speak properly, the LPG certificates. So he knows exactly what he's doing, but we thought it was a bit unfair to kind of put him on camera.
Yeah.
We're not going into too much detail, but you do always find on these videos, somebody always has a, oh, why did you do it like that? Why didn't you do that? And we thought it's not really fair to put a professional on who's here doing a job on camera, as well, because it does even take longer, doesn't it? You know, as we're doing jobs, you have to set cameras up and things. Yeah. So anyway, that's one of the little bits that we didn't really show. But if you turn the tap,
I have water.
Water comes out. At the minute, only the cold water.
Really forceful water.
Yeah, quite a lot of power as well, because we put the pump up there. But at the minute, we've only got cold water because the hot water boiler is going up here. And just to clarify, we've got this little bit to rebuild in the next couple of weeks, haven't we?
Yeah,
so once we've rebuilt this section, we'll put the water boiler there, and then we can have hot water as well. Because same as we'll come to in a little while, in the shower room, there's only cold water in there at the minute.
Yeah.
There's then your oven, isn't there? Your oven that we got.
I love my oven.
Yeah, only a little oven. It's got an oven, a grill, and 3-hob burner as well, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
which
it's absolute plenty.
It does the job alright. The only one slight gripe we've got is we bought it brand new and 2 of the knobs don't work properly, do they?
No.
two of the knobs are actually, they've got like a little spring that holds the actual knob on, and two of them came without the little spring in, so they don't actually work. We do need to get in touch with the manufacturer about that, and I'm sure they'll sort it out.
Well,
but,
of course.
But the actual oven and knob and everything work absolutely spot on, don't they?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. The other thing we've got in the side here is we've built a hatch that originally, when the boat was built, the top would have opened as well.
Yeah.
But it would have slid back, and to try and get that all watertight and everything, I think would have been an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
So for now we've just rebuilt it so the front door's out. And that probably ties us into, before we move down the boat, which we'll probably do after we've eaten our tea, is the outside. Obviously we had to do a little bit of work to that, didn't we?
Yep.
There were some areas where the fiberglass was damaged, because again, to clarify for anybody who's not seen before, our boat is steel, a steel hull up to there, and then the top section is fiberglass. And some of the fiberglass was damaged and sort of leaking and things, so we did quite a lot of studying as to how to do the fiberglassing, and then we've re-fiberglassed, repaired some of that, and then we did, I think, what we called our splash and dash paint job, didn't we?
Yeah.
That we know basically is only for this year. Next year we're going to really concentrate on the outside.
Yeah,
once we've got the
done really well, isn't it?
once we've got the inside done. So we just quickly, literally over the space of a couple of days, just sort of more or less throw a couple of cans of paint at it, didn't we? Just to smarten it up, because the key to it is, and I don't think we've really said in any of the videos, but we have actually more or less moved in, haven't we? You know, we're kind of now using the boat. As you'll see, as we move down it, we've got chairs and tables and bed and more or less a full working shower room. But between this boat and our other one, Nuts and Bolts, we're kind of more or less using them full time, aren't we? I mean, we've still got the house, but it's just a very expensive laundrette at the minute.
It is.
We kind of generally just take our clothes there. So I think that more or less covers kitchen and the bits of the outside. We'll eat us tea.
Yep.
And then we'll show them rest at boat.
Certainly will.
What is for tea, by the way?
Spaghetti bolognese.
Lovely.
It's pasta bolognese.
Oh, pasta bolognese. Is that posher than spaghetti bolognese?
No, it's just different shape.
Oh. Hold that thought. Because tea's going to be a few minutes till it's cooked. So we might as well have a look what we've got here, haven't we? Oh, I'll
tell you what we have got here. And Mr. Bell sat down doing now.
Well, you know, it's been a hard day and all that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There it has.
So you can see more or less now kind of the basic layout of the boat. Obviously we come in the back steps, we've got the kitchen there, and then this area is going to be the dinette. We've got an old table that we're actually...
I dare you to go out a brew, sweetheart.
Oh, she is a good one, isn't she? She is a good one. You couldn't just bring a towel to mop my brow as well, could you?
Oh, of course, just give me a minute, darling.
But no, so this is where the dinette's going to be. This table we think we probably are going to actually use, aren't we? Because it's the table we're really using as a bit of a workbench out there. So this is telling the story of our boat. So we think when it's done we're just going to clean it up a little bit and then re-varnish it.
Yeah, it's gone through every step.
And that'll sort of talk us through the boat, won't it? For now we've got a couple of sort of little spinning stools that we were given. So they act as the dinette chairs. As the initial plan was, this was going to be kind of a spare bed area, wasn't it? But for now we don't really need it as a spare bed area, so we've just got the table, seats, and then we'll perhaps look at putting some kind of cupboard or something there, won't we? On that other side.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but for now, it's got that lovely old carpenter's chest that we bought.
Which we do love as well, don't we?
It's got all my tools, well not all my tools, but it's got all like the basic tools and its screwdrivers and things, but it looks nice enough to actually have in the living room.
Yeah.
We've then also got down here a few of them pans that I keep cleaning up. You know, my electrolysis, my solar powered electrolysis. If you've not seen that, I'll put a link to it in the description below, but basically using a solar panel, I kind of clean up cast iron pans, don't I? Get all the rust off. It's like magic, it's still amazing. I've done it loads of times now and it still amazes me. But yeah, so we've got them down there. We've got perhaps the most important part of the boat on this side, and although it is somewhat looking a bit of a mess at the minute, it's our little mini bar. We built that initially in the other boat, didn't we, in Nuts and Bolts, but we had to bring it with us. It was an old bookcase that came from your dad's, weren't it, and we've kind of cut it down, and now the bottles and everything stay in there, so when we're on the move they can't fall off. Well, perhaps once we've cleaned all this area up properly, we'll put some more pictures of that one, because it does look really good when it's
It does. It looks
when it's
amazing.
done.
Yeah.
We've then got one of our great bargains, because we like a bargain. Well, I like a bargain.
I like a bargain.
You like a bargain, but you don't buy many bargains. But no, we've got one of our great bargains. We've got these 2 chairs, and there's 2 footstools. One of them's actually through in the bedroom at the minute. 2 footstools. We saw them advertised. I'm sure it were £50, weren't it, for the pair? And funnily enough, the day we saw them advertised, the clutch had gone on our van, so I couldn't pick them up. So the lady offered to drop them off. Didn't want any fuel money either. So we got 2 swivelly chairs that recline and have got footstools for 50 quid. Absolute bargain. So that's kind of kitchen, dining room, living room. We'll have to spin the camera around and show you the fireplace and then on further down. But I think I just heard you stirring and fiddling.
Not cooked yet.
Oh, it's not. You've just been testing, have you?
Yeah.
I'll be setting the camera up that way, and then we'll have a look.
2 more minutes, it's going to be al dente.
We'll have a look down that way. Got me brew to finish as well.
Oh yeah, don't forget about your bro.
Nice full belly now. That were delicious.
Thank you.
Thank you. What we got down this end, other than Dawn sat down now.
It's about time.
Yeah, about time. This side then almost looks like kind of a finished boat, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The last video we put on was basically the framework and the insulation under this boarding, and then we'd run out of plywood and we couldn't get any more, so we had to leave the video at that. But since then we got a bit of plywood delivered, didn't we? We managed to find somebody with some sheets that we've had.
Yeah.
And we've not actually recorded that bit because, again, people who've watched the videos before will have seen us boarding all this out. And again, if you've not seen the videos before, have a look back and watch us do that.
Yeah.
So it seemed a bit pointless showing you again us cutting some plywood. But then the real big moment was obviously we cut these curtains down. There were some old curtains that we've got. And we have recorded that, so we'll probably show that on a vlog coming up, won't we, as we cut them down. But basically, a bit of curtain track and some curtains. And like we say, it makes this side
feel homely. A little more homely,
like,
doesn't it?
there's still bits of trim and things to put on around these windows, and I think this section is actually going to be painted, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of the boat we are leaving as natural woods and things, but I think this top section is going to be painted.
Yeah.
But we'll see once we've got ceiling and things on there for the exact finishes, won't we? The other thing down this side is obviously the fireplace, which basically that was the very first thing that we fitted. We put the floor in and then got the fire in because it was the middle of winter. This is going to have to come out though. We knew all along it would have to come out because obviously it's not sat on the hearth that we want it to sit on, it's just sat on an old paving slab. And we've now sort of started to build up the actual back of it and everything. This is calcium silicate board, which is basically a heat-proof board, obviously for the regulations for certain distances you have to have the heat-proof board. But then I think we're going to put some kind of metal on there, aren't we? So it'll have like a metal back to it. Yeah. And then this edge bit will not spoil that, but you've got a little project on the go for sort of the edges and things, haven't you?
Right.
So that's something, like I said, the whole fireplace has got to come out so we can refit it all and get it all done around the ceiling and everything. We've also bought this plate that will sit onto the top of there. Obviously we've got the hole cut out, and that means that we get a slightly bigger space on the front. Because again, like we've shown in the past, in the winter especially, we cook on there, don't we?
Yeah.
So it means that you can fit a slightly bigger pan on, and it's a little bit safer because it's not hanging off the edge.
Yeah.
I think that brings this section to a close as well then, doesn't it? There's nothing else much round there,
Pretty much, yeah.
Next section then is the bathroom. And we aren't going to fit me, you and that video camera in the bathroom, are we?
Over to you then. I'm going to make a brew.
That sounds like a plan. So in actual fact, you couldn't go and make a brew because you've got to hold the camera. Because like we said, this bathroom's so small that we can't actually set the camera up so that you can see exactly what we're doing. So Dawn is holding the camera, not making a brew. You'll see I'm sat on the toilet, which is a composting toilet that we made, again, from some of the same school desks as we made the top of the kitchen work unit. Like I say, it's a composting toilet, so that means basically all the waste that's generated through the toilet is in effect recycled on site. I'll not go into all the details of that. That really is a video on its own, and that's what we did when we actually made it. So if you've got, I was going to say if you've got an interest in compost toilets, but do people really have an interest in compost toilets?
The first conversation that comes up.
Well, it is when you talk to other boaters, you always discuss toilets. So, but yeah, so the whole video on that, like I say, I'll put the link to the video in the description and have a look at that if you're interested. But like I said, we actually made the toilet, and if Dawn just pans down there a little bit, we've made the shower tray, again in the same way. What we've not got around to doing yet is fiberglass in the inside. That'll be coming up on a video fairly soon, because the idea to this is there's no drain for it under the floor. There's a pump under that section there that goes out through, I don't know if Dawn can quite pan round, out through that pipe. So when we're having a shower, the water will go into the bottom and then it'll get pumped out up through there. So like I said, we've just got the fiberglass in to do in the bottom there. Whilst she's looking that way, we've got the cover material, that's what we use in the compost toilet. And then if we move up a bit, first off you'll see we've got an electric cable. That's just what we're using at the minute. We've actually got on order the proper 240 volt hookup and all the galvanic isolators and things. Probably not the time to go into it, but we weren't really intending having 240 volt on the boat at all, so we'd not built that in initially. We've had a rethink. We'll cover that on another video coming up. And then we've got the shower, and if I just give it a little quick blast, it does actually work, but again only on cold because we've not fitted the hot water boiler yet. The sides here are made with the wet wall, so it's plastic wet wall. We're not really having a lot of plastic in the boat, we're not that keen on plastics, but that does the job perfect. It means obviously all the water runs down into the shower tray and be pumped out. And I think that about talks us through the actual bathroom. So seeing as I've done the bathroom, Dawn can now talk you through the bedroom.
I've got the curtains to put up here. We've got to frame round there. My wardrobe, that needs finishing off. That's going to be your bit, isn't it, Peter?
Yeah, we've still got to frame that up. We're gonna put some nice decorative frame in front of there, and then some doors along the front, the same as like as Dawn just said, going across the front of there.
Yeah,
there's going to be a nice framework and boarded out into the back as well, so it just smartens all that up really, won't it?
I'm keeping my panelling
yeah
as it is. That's going to be natural, I think.
Yeah, we think we might just varnish that or something, won't we?
You're going to finish this off?
Yeah, we've got these top corners sort of each side. Obviously down this side, this is where some of the wiring runs, just to show you actually quickly back there, just how that actually works, so that the wiring runs into there. So
we're going to paint this, aren't we?
Yeah, we think ceiling we're going to paint, don't we? We've got to finish that off.
Yeah. Not sure on a colour, but I do want a colour in here.
Yeah, we're thinking, like you said, maybe sort of keep... Oh, that shows my lovely hat and your lovely dressing gown. But yeah, we're thinking maybe sort of keeping the wood panelling on the sides, aren't we? But then sort of colours, probably fairly muted colours, won't they? But I mean, we're not really sure.
Colour,
yeah. So that's kind of that. One thing we have done that, again, we didn't really show is I've started fitting the actual lights. And as you'll see, if I press the magic button, the light works. And we have only got one light in the bedroom, but it is perfectly bright enough, isn't it? That's all we need in there. You see some of these new boats that they're fitting like 50 odd lights in the whole boat, and we can't really work out why. So if I just come round this way now, because then I can show this. Do excuse everything on there, because like we said, although we are kind of using the boat, it is obviously still part workshop, part working on it and things.
Yeah.
These drawers though, we actually bought instead of that wardrobe we had originally, didn't we? We decided, because obviously what's at the front there is the hanging space, we could get away, or not get away, but it might be better to have drawers. So we bought these, but they are going to need a bit of work, aren't they?
They are.
We're not sure exactly. They're going to need painting, but again...
Storage, there's loads more storage.
Yeah, because like I said, to sum up, we've got kind of all the hanging space we need there.
Yeah.
There is a little bit of space under the bed. At the minute we've kind of got shoes and things under there, but there is also the water tank under that as well. So yeah, we've got plenty of storage, but like I said, this chest of drawers will be getting painted and what have you. It's just a case of seeing once we've decorated everything else.
Yeah, how it fits in.
And this ultimately is the whole reason why we bought this boat.
It is actually, yes.
Because The main thing when we decided we wanted another boat was, it was just we wanted a side hatch, didn't we?
I had to have one.
It had to have a side hatch, and we put this bit of netting up just to keep the mosquitoes or whatever they are that
they bite me.
come in at night and bite down. So yeah, that was one crucial part of the build, was being able to look out there of a morning. And while I'm over here,
oh yeah,
I'll just jump in and show you. I did fit around the boat a few weeks ago just a few USB charging points. Again, obviously just so we can charge phones and things while we're on here. So I think that's pretty much the bedroom covered then, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
If we're going to see if that kettle's boiled then.
It's got to have.
And then we'll grab a quick brew and sum everything up.
Yep, let's do that.
Not a bad brew that, is it?
No, it's lovely.
Can't beat a good brew. I think that about sums up our little tour around the boat for now then, doesn't it? Like we said, we just wanted to show you kind of the stage that we're at, if you like.
Yeah.
And at the minute we have now got basically a fully working boat, haven't we? The only thing that's not working is the hot water.
Yeah.
As soon as we've got hot water, which should be in the next couple of weeks hopefully, we have then got a fully functioning boat.
Yeah, and I think in a year it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean obviously
I
like we
really
said,
do.
we have basically had the boat almost exactly a year. And bearing in mind, even for the first couple of months we didn't do any work, so we were waiting to get in the dry dock because we didn't want to start doing any work inside in case that showed up any problems. And we've not really gone at it hammer and tongue, have we, you could say.
We've enjoyed it.
Yeah, you know, and if we wanted a weekend away or we've wanted to do something else, we've done that. We've not kind of gone, oh, got to get the boat done, have we? Got to get the boat done. Can't go there because we've got to get the boat done.
We've had a life as well as do a boat.
So yeah, I think to have got where we've got in the time that we've got has been
pretty awesome.
Pretty good.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I really do.
Hopefully as well, you think it's pretty good.
Well, let us know.
Yeah, drop any comments in below. Either if there is anything that you've kind of spotted and thought, oh, they've not discussed that.
Any ideas?
Yeah, any ideas, any comments, drop them in the comments below. We'll do his best to answer them or do them on a follow-up video.
Yeah, definitely.
It's kind of like we are getting to the finishing touches, isn't it? And that's, I think, some of the things that we've perhaps missed out on filming, like putting the curtains up, is because we've just kind of started pottering of an evening, haven't we?
Yeah.
You know, like when we were doing like the big things like stripping it out or setting up all the boarding, you kind of set out that day to do it. But then some of these littler jobs now, you just kind of an evening, it'll be like pick up a screwdriver and you start on something and don't think to record it.
Because it's livable, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. We're at that point where we can just do the little bits and bobs and whatever. Yeah, hopefully then everyone's liked the little tour of our boat, or maybe they've disliked it and they'll give us the thumbs down.
All thumbs down are good.
Hey ho. I'm sure everyone's already subscribed to the channel, and when they subscribe, what do?
Press the bell.
Ding that little bell icon.
So I got that right now.
Yeah. It only took a year, but you're getting there. When you press the subscribe, which is absolutely free, and ding the little bell, it means you get notifications through YouTube each time we put a video on. And as we said, you only get a video when we do something. We don't put videos on for the sake of putting a video on.
No.
If there's weeks where we don't put one on because we've not done anything, and at times there's weeks where we put 2 or 3 videos on if we've got quite a bit done. So yeah, like, subscribe, ding the little bell. We'll finish us brew, and we'll see everyone later. Bye bye.